right, so here is a recipe that we're trying out for this week. It's called Marry Me Shrimp Pasta. I thought this was a pretty cool name, and maybe if I know this recipe, I might have some other news to share pretty soon. LOL. But yeah, again, I just wanted a really simple recipe for this week, something I could get through pretty quickly, because, busy weeks, busy life. But yeah, let's go ahead and just see how this turns out. I'll kind of just walk you through my usual format of kind of like just talking myself through the recipe, and I'm kind of just showing you guys little step-by-steps, beyond just, very fast abbreviated, clips, some of the reels that you might find online, which, I kind of find somewhat helpful, but not always. So let's run down here. So the ingredients list, so 1 pound of shrimp, peeled and deveined. So I have that over here. So one of the things that I did do that I learned from somewhere else is that when you have frozen shrimp, you definitely want to put it in an ice bath to basically help it thaw before you cook it, because this is uncooked shrimp. But you definitely want to put it in like hot water, because that's going to go ahead and start cooking it. You don't want that to happen. So I've already been having this soak in like an ice bath. One of the things I'll do next is basically just dump the water, take the tails off, and do the seasoning step. But right now they have been thawing for probably about 30 to 40 minutes, so they should be pretty good right now. Let's see what else we got here. So then we have the shrimp, and that's 2 pounds. This recipe has for 1 pound. I'll do 2 pounds just to see kind of like what the ratio looks like. I do like to lean a little bit more on the meatier side when it comes to my pastas. So yeah, seasoning, paprika, check. Italian seasoning, I think we got that there. So that's a check. Black pepper and salt. Yeah, black pepper. Got some salt. What else do we need? Okay, so here we go. So they have this sun-dried tomato oil that you get from the tomato jar, or the sun-dried tomato jar. So this is one that I found. So what we're basically going to do when we get to that part of the recipe is we're actually going to like drain out some of this oil that's in this jar for the pan instead of using olive oil, because you can kind of see here that one of the main ingredients is olive oil. So this is going to kind of serve a dual purpose of basically taking some of this out here, using this for the olive oil when we start to cook things in the frying pan. And then we'll actually use the actual, sun-dried tomatoes that are in here as well. So I'm kind of excited to see how that is, because it'll be kind of like flavored olive oil, probably adding to the flavor. And then for the sauce, we have some tomato paste, which I was actually able to find the recommended brand, so that's there. What else we got? Tomato paste, the sun-dried tomatoes. So yep, again, we'll go back to that jar. We'll use the actual tomatoes that are in there. Some more seasonings that we just mentioned. Basil, so that's that one there. And then it's gluten-free 1-to-1 ratio flour. So that's this one right here. Let's see what else we got going on here. So 2 cups of diced spinach. So that's the spinach. I'm actually going to use probably just the whole bag, because spinach definitely does shrink. Butter. My butter over here, the very good kind. So I should add hopefully to the razzle dazzle. Let's see, butter, onion, and garlic. So I already have my jar here of the garlic. We'll use a whole onion, because I don't know, some of my leftover onions I didn't kind of need to get through in the refrigerator. Vegetable broth, there it is. Heavy cream, there she goes. Parmesan cheese, so I got 2 of those. We probably won't use all of it, but we'll just kind of see what it's looking like. Chopped basil. So I couldn't find the basil leaves, but here's some chopped basil here that we'll use for our garnish. And then a penne pasta, so we'll cook that whole box. And we'll go ahead and get it started. All right, so it says boil the pasta according to the package directions until al dente while you cook the shrimp. So looking at the back of the pasta, it says, you know, boil the water. We're gonna do the full box. It says salt to taste. Add the pasta, reboil, cook uncovered for 10 to 12 minutes and then drain. So, coming right over here, the water is boiling. I'm going to grab some salt and season it up. And I'm gonna go ahead and just add the pasta. And we'll let it cook for about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, so next it says toss the shrimp in the paprika, Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, in a medium bowl until they're evenly coated. So we're gonna use this. We're gonna use Italian seasoning, salt, pepper. Where's the salt at? Yep, so salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, and paprika until they're evenly coated. They provide measurements, but I'm also just going to just season it, you know, sufficiently. So, a little bit. Okay, I'll just mix this in. Get one more coat of seasoning after we turned it all around. Quick. One more round. Pretty much enough salt. We'll just do a little dab. Alright, this is really seasoned pretty good. You know what? This is a recipe modification alert, but I'm gonna add some O-base seasoning as well. The recipe didn't ask for it, but you know, it's seafood, and I think O-bay will always just make it extra, you know, a little razzle dazzle. All right, here we go. So right now we're boiling the pasta, which is boiling right here, and I've been stirring it. So a few more minutes before we drain it. And then, what else we got? Boil pasta, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so toss the shrimp, we did that. Okay, so heat the sun-dried tomato oil in a large skillet over medium heat. Then cook your shrimp 2 minutes on both sides until pink. In a C shape, don't let it be a O shape or you overcooked it. And then set it aside. All right, so let's do that next. Okay, so the pasta is done. I'm about to drain it. One thing I like, I also took some of the water and put it in a measuring cup just to save it, to help out the finished product if need be, with some of the pasta water. And one thing I always do too, just to make sure the pasta is cooked to my liking, is I always will kind of like sometimes take one piece out, let it cool off, you know, try it, see if it is right consistency, and that one's pretty good. So I'll go ahead and just get this drained, and we'll move on to the cooking the shrimp. I already started heating this pan, so. All right, so the pasta will be sitting over here draining. This is that pasta water reserve I was talking about. But now we're about to, the pan for the shrimp is hot. We're using the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes. So we're just gonna add a little here. It's basically like using olive oil, but just the oil from the other thing. All right, and then let's see what the recipe says. So let's see, where am I at? So yep, we tossed that because that's ready to be cooked now. We're gonna heat the sun-dried tomato oil in the hot skillet over medium heat. So we're gonna cook each of the shrimp for 2 minutes on both sides. So let's go ahead and get that done. So I'll take this. And probably gonna use some tongs, but it's gonna be pretty hot. Smells really good. Right now I'm trying to make sure I get everybody on the surface of the pan somewhere. Properly get that 2 minutes per side. I barely have enough space, but we will make it work. Alright, so that is all the shrimp in there. We'll let this all sit for about 2 minutes on this side, and then we'll do a whole flip over per the instructions, and that's it for that. So we'll let this cook some and get ready to flip it. Alright, so it's time to turn them. So in about 2 minutes, you can kind of see how some of them are turning a little pink. So we'll go in and get these bad boys flipped over. And we'll do about another 2 minutes. Have a nice little peach color, so that's good. I think it's a very clever thing to use the sun-dried tomato olive oil, because it's giving it a nice fragrance. I got them all turned correctly. Okay. So we'll let that cook for about 2 minutes, and then we will take these off and start on the sauce. So we're going to go ahead and take the shrimp out now. Set it aside on this plate. So we definitely don't want to overcook it. Definitely smells really good though too. Definitely something I want to keep in my back pocket about using this sun-dried, what is it? Sun-dried tomato. What do you call it? Juice from the can, because it's olive oil basically, but it's very flavored and fragrant when you use it to basically grease your pans. I'm sure it's definitely gonna add to the flavor. Alright, so shrimp is all cooked and set aside. So next we're gonna add our butter. The recipe called for 2 tablespoons, I believe. But I'm gonna do 4, just because I have a little bit more pasta and shrimp, I think. So we're gonna let that melt. While it's melting, let's go look over our handy dandy recipe. So yeah, we let the shrimp cook and set aside to cool. So melt the butter and add garlic, onion, sun-dried tomatoes, tomato paste, Italian seasoning, paprika, salt, pepper. Cook the mixture for about 2 minutes until fragrant. So let me go ahead and get that all together. All right, so there was a lot going on. I had to remove it off the heat to get all this stuff added, but I have my onions in here. I have salt, my basil, tomato paste, diced sun-dried tomatoes, paprika, all the things. So I'll return this back to the heat. And just stood butter. So I'll start getting that mixed up. But just to kind of do a little recap for the recipe, we melted the butter, but then we added the garlic, the onion, the sun-dried tomatoes, the tomato paste, the Italian seasoning, the paprika, the salt, the dried basil, and then we're gonna mix that for about 2 minutes. So I'll do that now. And then I'm gonna add some flour, stir well, add the broth, the heavy whipping cream, spinach, stir until the sauce thickens. And then the spinach starts to wilt about 5 minutes. And then add your Parmesan cheese. Okay, so back to step number 1. Added all those things, and now we're gonna start stirring. So, get my good rubber spatula. All the seasonings are now in here with the butter. We're just gonna kind of make sure we get this all really nicely mixed in and melted. All right, so it's been about 2 minutes. This is all coming together really nicely. It smells really, really good. So let's go take a peek at the instructions real quick. So, let's see, So yeah, we melted, the mixture, 2 minutes to fragrant. Okay, so now we're gonna do the flour. So I think up here, 2 tablespoons of gluten-free flour. So we're gonna add the flour, then we're gonna add the broth, the heavy cream, and the spinach. So let's do the flour first. 2 of these. Do one, more or less, 2. Let's see what else we got. Broth, heavy cream. So let's see what they want for that. 2 cups of vegetable broth, 1 cup of heavy cream. I can manage that. Let's see. So we got our measuring cup. This is 2 cups of vegetable broth. 2 cups is up there. So that's a good helping of this. Let's pour it in. Let me double check. 2 cups of, 1 cup of heavy cream. This is the heavy cream. We'll do 1 cup of that. Pour it in. All right. And then for the sauce, we did the flour, we did broth, we did the heavy cream, we'll do the spinach, stir, stir and cook. So the sauce thickens, the spinach wilts. Then add Parmesan cheese and stir until melted. How much Parmesan cheese do you want? 1 cup. Let's see, how much is in here? Yeah, we'll probably just use this whole thing. All right, so let me go ahead and get the spinach added. I'll just use the whole bag because it's gonna really shrink up. Oops, okay, a lot of spinach. Sure, there we go. So it's funny to see all this spinach and then let's see how much it shrinks. Alright, so I'll go ahead and start letting this start and stir and cook it up. We have our juices down there with the spinach mixed in, and add the Parmesan cheese shortly after. All right, so the spinach has now cooked down. The sauce looks really pretty. Yeah, it's thickened up. So next, let's see, we are going to, nearing the end, now we're going to add the Parmesan cheese, stir until melted, then carefully add the pasta to the sauce, then add the shrimp, stir, and then garnish. So here's our Parmesan. Add this and let it melt. I assume this is going to thicken up the sauce as well. Oh yeah, this is going to look really good. I think I want mine to be extra cheesy because I brought that other thing of Parmesan, and I mean, might as well just use it. So I'll get this added as well. So this is my second thing of Parmesan going in. Extra cheesy. Fabulous. Turn down the heat a little bit. So the sauce is basically perfect. I don't want anything to burn. So you did all this work to get this beautiful sauce. Look at this. This is great. Nice and cheesy. We're gonna add the shrimp, and then we're gonna add the pasta. This is gonna be a really good one. So let's see. Let's double check. So let's see. We stirred in the Parmesan cheese, melted, carefully mixing the pasta, then add the shrimp. So let's go over here. Got our good old handy dandy pasta that's been chilling out. So let's go ahead and they say carefully add. Splatter. Let's get this added. This is where all this sauces, noodles are gonna be nicely coated too. Let's dump the rest of this. There we go. So I'm gonna work these noodles in there. Sure everything gets coated nicely. I'm starting to see that there is like it's kind of like really absorbing a lot. I don't know. But I do have the pasta water, so I could still add some pasta water, but I think it's still very coated. So I don't think it's needed right now. So we're good still. And our shrimp. This coated. Oh yeah, look at that, baby, baby. What did Emerald always say when he cooked? Oh baby, or hubba hubba, I don't know. Yeah, look at that. Very pretty coated. Well, let me do a little pasta water. So this is a little bit of pasta water because I don't want to get it too dry. Let's do a little tad. Put that here. So take a little bit more, but I don't want it to start to burn. Maintains its creaminess. Alright, y'all. That's pretty much it. Keep stirring. But that is the Marry Me pasta for you. There it is. Marry Me shrimp pasta. I'm very excited how this turned out. You know, it has a nice, good sauce sound from noodles. And basically break this up into Tupperware containers for meal prep this week. And I think last but not least, you know, the last step was to garnish it with basil. So, you know, go ahead and do that. Yeah, but all in all, this is a really cool recipe. I really like this one. I should be interested to try it out with some different meats as well. Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to doing the next recipe.